Hey everybody, welcome to mini concert number 216. First up tonight is a Donovan song. It's a fellow born in Scotland. Had a couple of big hits back in the 60s. Yellow is the color of my true love's hair. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Green is the color of the sparkling corn. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Blue is the color of the sky. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Mellow is the feeling that I get when I see her. When I see her, oh yeah, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. Freedom is a word I rarely use without thinking, without thinking, oh yeah, about the time that I was loved. Yellow is the color of my true love's hair. In the morning when we rise, in the morning when we rise, that's the time, yes, that's the time I love the best. That song is called Colors. It's from the mid-60s. Next up is a Ian and Sylvia song. I was a big fan of theirs back in the 60s too. Saw them live once at the Cellar Door down on 34th Street in Washington. This is called Four Strong Winds. Four strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. If our good times are all gone, then I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I think I'll go out to Alberta. The weather's good there in the fall. I've got some friends that I can go to working for. Still, I wish you'd change your mind if I asked you one more time. But we've been through that 100 times or more. Four strong winds that blow lonely, seven seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. If our good times are all gone, then I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. Well, if I get there before the snow flies, if things are going good, you could meet me if I sent you down a fare. But by then it would be winter, not too much for you to do, and those winds sure can blow cold up there, or strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may. If our good times are all gone, then I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. So there's a breakup song if I ever heard one. Next up is the Bob Dylan song. It's been called his anthem for change. It's kind of timeless. If you listen to the words, you can hear him talking about some of the current events today, even though he wrote the song many, many years ago. Come gather around, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Writers and critics, prophesy with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. For the loser now will be later to win, the times they are senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the lands, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly fading. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are changing. Well, the line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly changing, and the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. times they are changing. I heard him do that, do a duet with Joan Baez on that song in Raleigh, North Carolina one evening. Next up is one of my only forays into rock and roll. This is a medley. All of my love and all of my kisses, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. All of my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Well, the stars appear and the shadows are falling. You can hear my heart a-calling. A little bit of love makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love and all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. Rock and roll is here to stay. It will never die. It was meant to be that way, though I don't know why. Rock and roll will always be. It'll go down in history. Rock and roll is really cool. I dig it to the end. It'll go down in history. Just you watch, my friend. Rock and roll will always be. It'll go down in history. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class, but that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. All of my love and all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world can see that you were meant for me. So that's obviously Buddy Holly, Danny and the Juniors, and Elvis Presley. Next up is John Prine song. It's got a couple titles. I like the Egg and Daughter Night title. Well, if you like your apples sweet and your streets are not concrete, you'll be in your bed by 9 every night. Take your hand-spanked corn-fed gal and your best friend's four-eyed pal to a treat right down the street that's dynamite. Well, let your conscience be your guide. If you put your foot inside, you should have left your well enough alone. Well, if you got hell to pay, put the truth on layaway. Blame it on that old crazy bone. Crazy bone. Crazy bone. Should've left your well enough alone. Well, if you got hell to pay, put the truth on layaway. Blame it on that old crazy bone. Well, don't get stuck up in Alaska when you should be in Nebraska on a Thursday when it's Egg and Daughter Night. When the farmers come to town and they spread them eggs around. Drop their daughters down at the roller rink. Well, you were probably standing there with your slick back Brill-Cream hair, your Lucky's and your daddy's fine-tooth comb. Well, if they knew what you was thinking, they'd run you out of Lincoln. Blame it on that old crazy bone, crazy bone, crazy bone. Must have left your wisdom tooth at home. Well, if they knew what you was thinking, they'd run you out of Lincoln. Blame it on that old crazy bone. When the grandkids all are grown and they put you in a home, and eternity is approaching fast, well, you're half out of your head and you probably peed the bed, and you can't see a thing here at the last. When far across the prairie at the local cemetery, they've already got your name carved out in stone. So when all them nurses say, Grandpa, why you walk that way, blame it on that old crazy bone, crazy bone, crazy bone. Everybody in that old folks' home, well, if they knew what you was thinking, they'd run you out of Lincoln. Blame it on that old crazy bone. So that's Egg and Daughter Night, or Crazy Bone. That's mini concert number 216. If anybody's going to be at the Old Brogue Thursday night at 7:30, I'll be playing an open mic there, so feel free to drop by. See you next week.